This video is not intended to inspire any conflicts. It is provided solely for informational purposes, including all content and images. Comparison of South Korea and North Korea military forces. Comprehensive analysis, made by @DevDataPlanet YouTube channel. General overview. Global firepower ranking, South Korea, 5th out of 145 nations. North Korea, 34th out of 145 nations. Manpower. South Korea, approximately 555,000 active personnel, with 3.1 million reservists. Total military personnel, around 3.8 million. North Korea, approximately 1.3 million active personnel, 600,000 reservists, and 5.7 million worker peasant Red Guard reservists. Total military personnel, around 7.6 million. Defense budget. South Korea, approximately $50 billion annually, supported by a GDP of $1.85 trillion. North Korea, estimated at 20 to 30% of GDP, $48 billion economy, roughly $9.6 to $14.4 billion annually. Military branches. South Korea, Army, 420,000 personnel, including Marines. Navy, 70,000 personnel. Air Force, 65,000 personnel. North Korea, Ground Force, Navy, Air and Anti-Air Force, Missile General Bureau, Special Operations Force. Strategic context. South Korea. South Korea maintains a modern, technologically advanced military with strong U.S. backing via the U.S.-South Korea Mutual Defense Treaty, which allows 28,000 U.S. troops to be stationed in the country. The ROKANI focuses on high-quality armaments, indigenous defense production, and joint exercises with allies like the U.S. and Japan. North Korea. North Korea prioritizes a large conventional force and asymmetric capabilities, including nuclear weapons, ballistic missiles, and cyber warfare. Its military doctrine is rooted in Soviet-style tactics with Chinese influence, focusing on deterrence and potential surprise attacks. Army comparison. Main battle tanks. South Korea, 2,149 tanks, including the advanced K2 Black Panther, considered one of the world's best MBTs, with a 120mm smoothbore gun, active protection systems, and advanced electronics. North Korea, 3,500 tanks, primarily outdated T-55 and T-62 models, 1950s to 1960s, with some indigenous variants like the Pokpung-ho and Pokpung-ho, which are less advanced than the K2. Artillery. South Korea, 12,100 pieces, including 1,100 K9 Thunder, 155mm self-propelled howitzers. Exported globally, 52% market share in its category. The K9 features an automatic loading system for high fire rates. North Korea, 3 to 100 towed and self-propelled artillery pieces. MLRS, South Korea. K-239, Chunmu, approximately 218 units. M270, MLRS, 58 units. K136, Kuryong, approximately 40 units remain in service. Total MLRS. South Korea has an estimated 298 to 316 MLRS units. North Korea are undefined 5,500 multiple rocket launchers, MRLs. North Korea has the world's second-largest artillery force, much of it forward deployed near the DMZ, capable of targeting Seoul. However, around 25% of shells may be defective. Armored vehicles. South Korea As of 2025, the Republic of Korea Army, ROKA, operates approximately 3,100 armored vehicles, according to the most recent data. North Korea, approximately 2,500 APCs, mostly Soviet-era designs, example BTR series, lacking modern electronics or protection. Missiles. South Korea. Hyunmoo series, ballistic and cruise missiles, including Hyunmoo-4 with a 2-ton payload and 800 kilometers range, part of the kill chain and Korea massive punishment and retaliation strategies. North Korea. Extensive ballistic missile arsenal, including short-range, KN-23, and intercontinental ballistic missiles, Hwasong 15, 17s, 18s, up to 15,000 kilometers range. Some are nuclear-capable. Army strengths. South Korea. High-quality, indigenously produced equipment, superior technology, and integration with U.S. NATO systems. The ROKA benefits from modern command, control, and communication C3 systems and extensive training. North Korea. Sheer numerical advantage in manpower and artillery, forward-deployed forces, and asymmetric capabilities like Special Operations Forces. Army weaknesses. South Korea. Smaller active personnel compared to North Korea, reliant on conscription, 21 to 24 months, and potential vulnerabilities due to Seoul's proximity to the DMZ 35 miles. North Korea. Outdated equipment, Soviet-era designs, poor maintenance, and questionable operational readiness due to economic constraints and malnourishment of troops. Air Forces. Combat aircraft. South Korea. Modern fleet including 40 F-35A stealth fighters with 40 more planned, F-15K, F-A-50, and the indigenous KF-21 Borami, 4.5 generation fighter prototype. Total combat aircraft 400, 200, 500. North Korea. 540 aircrafts including 35 MiG-29s, 1977, 56 MiG-23s, 1967, 26 MiG-21s, 1959, 38 Su-25s, 1978, and older models like H-5s, 1950s. Most are obsolete and lack modern avionics. Support. Assets. South Korea. Advanced reconnaissance platforms like the RQ-4 Global Hawk drones and airborne early warning systems. North Korea. Limited modern reconnaissance or support aircraft, relying on sheer numbers rather than quality. Helicopters. South Korea. Apache AH-64E attack helicopters and modern transport helicopters enhancing ground support capabilities. North Korea. Aging combat and transport helicopters, less effective against modern air defenses. Air Force's strengths. South Korea. Technologically superior Air Force with modern aircraft, high training standards, and integration with U.S. air assets. The ROKA's air superiority would likely dominate in a conflict. North Korea. Large aircraft inventory, though quantity does not translate to effectiveness due to outdated technology. Air Force. Weaknesses. South Korea. Smaller aircraft inventory compared to North Korea's numerical advantage, though quality offsets this. North Korea. Obsolete fleet, poor maintenance, limited pilot training, and vulnerability to South Korea's advanced air defenses and fighters. Naval Forces. Fleet. South Korea. 200 hulls, including 19 submarines. KSS-3, capable of launching ballistic missiles. 3 Sejong the Great-class Aegis destroyers, with plans for 3 more, and modern frigates. Plans for an aircraft carrier by 2033. North Korea. 470 surface vessels, guided missile ships, torpedo boats, patrol vessels, and 71 submarines, including Soviet-era Romeo-class and Midget submarines. Recent additions include a tactical nuclear attack submarine. Capabilities uncertain. Capabilities. South Korea. Advanced surface combatants and submarines with missile capabilities supported by a robust shipbuilding industry. North Korea. Focus on coastal defense and asymmetric warfare, with submarines designed for clandestine operations. Naval Strengths. South Korea. Modern, balanced navy with superior technology capable of blue water operations and integration with U.S. naval forces. North Korea, large submarine fleet and numerical advantage in hulls suitable for hit-and-run tactics. Naval Weaknesses. South Korea. Smaller fleet size compared to North Korea, though quality compensates. North Korea, outdated vessels, limited blue water capabilities, and reliance on aging Soviet-Chinese designs. Strategic capabilities. Missiles. South Korea. Hyunmoo series. Non-nuclear, with precision strike capabilities designed to counter North Korean threats. North Korea. 30-50 nuclear warheads with the potential to produce 6 to 18 annually. Capable of striking the U.S. with ICBMs, Hwasong 15, 17, 18. Extensive ballistic missile arsenal, including nuclear-capable systems, enhancing deterrence. Cyber warfare. South Korea. Advanced cyber defenses, though less aggressive than North Korea's capabilities. North Korea. 6,800 cyber warfare personnel, targeting critical infrastructure and conducting cyber theft, e.g. $2 billion stolen by 2019. Alliances. South Korea. Strong U.S. and NATO interoperability, with joint exercises enhancing readiness. North Korea. Cooperation with China and Russia. Strategic strengths. South Korea. Technological edge, robust defense industry, and strategic alliances provide deterrence and rapid response capabilities. North Korea. Nuclear arsenal and cyber capabilities provide significant asymmetric advantages, compensating for conventional weaknesses. Strategic weaknesses. South Korea. Lack of nuclear weapons limits strategic deterrence compared to North Korea. North Korea. Economic isolation limits technological advancements, and nuclear use would provoke severe retaliation from South Korea and the U.S. South Korea's strengths. Advanced, indigenously produced weapons, for example, K-2, K-9, F-35 Hyunmoo. Strong U.S. alliance and NATO interoperability. Robust defense industry and high training standards. Superior air and naval capabilities, with a focus on quality over quantity. North Korea's strengths. Large manpower and artillery force, with forward-deployed units. Nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles provide strategic deterrence. Significant cyber warfare capabilities and special operations forces. South Korea. Weaknesses. Smaller active personnel and numerical inferiority in artillery and tanks. Seoul's proximity to the DMZ makes it vulnerable to artillery barrages. Reliance on conscription may affect morale in prolonged conflicts. North Korea. Weaknesses. Outdated conventional equipment. Soviet-era designs. Economic constraints limit maintenance and modernization. Poor troop conditions, malnourishment, and limited training reduce effectiveness. Conclusion. South Korea holds a significant technological and qualitative edge over North Korea, particularly in air and naval forces, supported by a robust defense industry and U.S. alliances. North Korea counters with numerical superiority, nuclear weapons, and asymmetric capabilities, but its conventional forces are hampered by outdated equipment and economic constraints. In a conventional conflict, South Korea's modern forces and alliances would likely prevail, but North Korea's artillery, missiles, and nuclear arsenal pose significant risks, particularly to Seoul. The strategic balance hinges on South Korea's technological superiority versus North Korea's numerical and asymmetric threats.
Thanks for your attention.